Great. So for reflection number two, we have practices of looking. And the two films that are involved with that are a film by Dennis O'Rourke called Cannibal Tours, and then Coco Fusco and Paula Heredia with The Couple in the Cage. And the way that these two films deal with the practices of looking is experiencing culture and the people in that culture, how you look at those people, and also where you're looking at them from. Excuse me. But you have cannibal tours where people go to the region that this culture exists in. So they go to that place to experience it as tourists. And then you have Couple in a Cage, where it's the opposite almost, where the couple is brought from their home to a museum for other people to go and experience them. And both of them deal with viewing the subject of documentation in a lesser manner. Because in the cage, it doesn't help that they're in a cage, because that makes you look down on them. It makes it seem like they're an animal in a zoo. Although it could be said that going to see the people in their own culture could be the same thing as like in a cage. I mean, it's not obviously a cage in the same sense, but it's the way of how something is shot to make it seem as though the party being documented is less. At least that's how I interpreted it anyway. It has to do a lot with, I guess it's like the time period too. Because I think nowadays you wouldn't ever see like a culture from, say, like the Amazon. There's probably a specific tribe that I could probably name if I knew what they were called. You wouldn't see people from the Amazon being taken and put in a cage unless it was like an art piece or some kind of like statement. You wouldn't see that happening legitimately. Not in today's time period anyway, but like the way that, the practices of looking works is it's all based on, the people viewing it and how they view those people. And a lot of it has to do with racism. Racism is a huge part of it. But I think the biggest part of it is, who's shooting it. Because if I was from the Amazon and I shot a documentary of the Amazon, that would be different than me right now doing that because I'm just some white guy. And so that's, it's a huge part of what the practices of looking is how it's mainly about the subjects. That's the practices of looking.